welcome to the Thirsty Bitches podcast, where we talk about anything under the sun, from books to entertainment to self-help, and even a little spice. I'm Victoria.
I'm Kira.
And I'm Catalin.
That was an aggressive spice.
That was so aggressive.
Which is apropos for today's episode.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be talking about some of the things that have been going on with social media. We are recording this towards the end of March. And if you're paying attention to anything that's going on with TikTok, then you know that there is currently a bill up called the Restrict Act that is geared towards essentially banning TikTok, but more than that. But banning TikTok is the face of it. So we're going to talk about the potential pitfalls of doing that and why that's a very bad idea.
So. Yes. But before we get into that, we are going to start on a lighter note with our Quenchful Moments. If you're new here, Quenchful Moment is something happy or exciting that's happened to us over the last week or so that we want to share with each other and with you. So to kick us off, Victoria, what was your Quenchful Moment?
My Quenchful Moment is, as of the time of this episode airing, I will have just started a shift change in my job. So while, yes, I do work like a standard 9 to 5, we do have flexible shift hours. And because of the way my job works, the summertime is the busy time for us. And because of that, my boss and I were talking about me potentially starting earlier in the day. So I'm going to be working from 7 to 3 throughout the summertime, which is going to be nice because then I can spend more time with my sister in the afternoons and we can go to the pool and do fun things and it'll just be good.
So it'll be exciting. That's nice.
Yeah.
I always prefer starting earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was really glad when we talked about me being able to do that, especially now because the one like big project that I'm working on is the part that I'm working on is almost done. So that means I can have more time to do other stuff. So yay.
That's exciting. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you've just been like loving your job.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Hey, if you know any open positions at your job, let me know.
I'm trying to find them.
I've done background checks at this job that I just had. I did a lot of background checks. So
yeah.
I could do that now. Anyways. That's on a different note. Catalin, what was your Quenchful Moment?
My Quenchful Moment is, so at the time of recording, I leave for Europe in 2 weeks, and I'm going to be gone for like 3.5 weeks. This will come out right after I get back. But I jokingly was asking the kids I work with, like, more one-on-one if they'll miss me, and a couple of them said yes, and I was like, wait, really? Why? And one said because I bully him, which I don't.
Okay.
I just make him do his work.
He's gonna miss you?
Yeah, that's why he's gonna miss me.
Bruh.
I was like, my coworker can bully you if you really miss that, but I don't bully you. I just make you do your work. And he's like, yeah, that's bullying. I was like, no, it's not, but okay.
That's bullying.
And then the other one is because I give him food because I have snacks.
Okay.
That the kids pay $1 for, whatever. But yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna miss you because you give me food. And I was like, wow, that means so much, so much. But some of the upperclassmen have admitted they're like, it's gonna be weird without you here. And I was like, thanks. I guess
they've gotten used to you.
They have, and they all want to see pictures when I get back and everything. So my coworker is like, just bring me chocolate, and I said, okay, I can do that.
That's a vibe.
Yeah, chocolate in Europe is better. So
yeah,
most
but it wasn't more
like better.
Yeah, it wasn't like a good thing that happened this week. It just made me laugh really hard because I did take the chair. The two that said this to me, I took their chair away on Friday because we have like a swivel chair that they can sit in, or like butterfly chair or whatever. And I took it away because they hadn't been doing work, and they both walked in and they're like, where's our chair? And I was like, what chair? I don't know, chair.
You don't have a chair. Sit on the floor.
And then I put it back, and then they came back later, and they're like, I was like, it's been there the whole day. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, but
anyway. Like, you should probably take some vitamins because your memory is not that good.
Well, one of them just got contacts, and I was like, I thought your contacts were helping. Anyways,
that's Kira. I love that for you.
People use that joke on me with my LASIK. They're like, didn't you get LASIK? And I'm like, listen, doesn't fix everything.
Doesn't fix, yeah, exactly. But anyways, Kira, what was your Quenchful Moment?
So my Quenchful Moment is, as you both know, but our listeners probably don't. I had to move into a new apartment recently, due to
like last week.
Literally a few days ago.
But then when this episode comes out, it'll be a couple weeks. We had issues. Our dog has like severe anxiety, and we had neighbors above us that were stomping around, and it was causing the apartment to become unlivable because Olive just could not. She couldn't tell where the sound was coming from, and she was like freaking out all the time. We were like heavily sedated, like heavily drugging her with doggy Xanax. It literally is dog Xanax, is what we were giving her, and it still wasn't working. Like we couldn't give her any more than we were giving her in dosage either, and she just couldn't calm down. So we ended up contacting our the complex people, and so we had to move. But because of the move, it was hard on me with everything else going on in my life, and Emily felt absolutely abysmal about it. She's like, I feel so bad that you have to do this. That she left that Friday before we started moving, so we were still sitting in our other apartment. She left to go take Olive to the vet to pick up medication for her, and she decided to go to the grocery store, and she bought me Starbucks, and she got us like cake and sparkling wine and a brand new Starbucks cup.
Nice.
Aww.
I love it.
As much as we all say Kira doesn't need any new cups and everything, she was like, I had been looking at this one, but I kept saying like, I don't need it like as much as I want it. Like we don't have the space. Like I have a lot of cups, but she got it for me because she felt bad. Isn't it so cute?
It's so
So my
cute.
quenchable moment is this. This is actually the first day that I'm using it. So I'll love it. It's pretty, and it's perfect for like the summer. So it's a good little April May cup. But yeah, it's been a rough couple of weeks.
I think we can give you a pass this time.
I know.
give you a lot of passes lately.
She deserves something.
Literally, I'm just like sitting here. I'm just like telling people, I'm like, the universe has it out for me. I'm like, and I know the universe is giving me all these struggles because it's pushing me to be this better person into a better life. Like everything's gonna work out. Like it's fine. But I'm just like, can I just have like one little thing to keep me going? Give me one good thing to keep me going. Everyone's like, my mom was like, well, Emily got you the cup. I'm like, this is not enough.
It's just a start.
I'm like, I need something.
You'll get it.
I'm getting tired. And Sylvia's been dealing with me so much. I'm just like, I can't keep doing this. But it's okay because Saturn is now in my return. Pluto has entered Aquarius, and Mars is out of Gemini. So we're hoping for the best, guys.
You're saying words.
We're hoping for the best for me at this point. I'm like, all right, this is.
I don't know what any of that means. I'm always so confused whenever I go into that channel on our server, and Sylvie was talking about her sidereal chart. I was like, what the fuck is that?
All I know is that, the last 3 years, Saturn has been in Aquarius, which is in fucking with our lives. Fucking with it. Pluto's been in Capricorn, and when Pluto went into Capricorn, it was 2008. And what happened in the United States in 2008?
Oh god.
Our recession. And Mars has been in Gemini the last 7 months. What has happened to me over the last 7 months? Fuck ton of shit. I'm over it. So
you're gonna make it.
I'm hoping that
you'll get
things start to calm down a little bit.
They should.
They will.
Just like literally, I'm like, how is it that I only got in my car accident like 4.5 weeks ago?
Dang.
That does feel like it was a lot longer ago.
It was a long time. Nope. Yeah.
Huh.
I got in a car accident and lost my job within a week, and that was only a month ago.
Dang.
What the fuck?
Well,
so
at least your life isn't as much of a dumpster fire as the social media landscape is.
Listen,
that's very true.
I am unemployed right now, so if they need a revolutionary to get out there, I can do it.
Unionize.
Yeah.
Get it started. But
Yeah.
yeah, as I was saying earlier, there is the Restrict Act out that is calling for the ban of TikTok, but that is just the very tip of the iceberg, because with that act, that means that they could essentially have access to our entire internet lives and ban
It's
things
not
all
just
willy nilly.
it's anything that connects to Wi-Fi. So there's, all of our social media, our
What you
emails,
watch.
our iMessages, our streaming services. It is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very specific. It's like anything that has over 1 million users, which is
Mm-hmm.
only
Oh,
0.3% of the population.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah.
Like,
Oh my god. Mm-hmm.
it's just
Yeah, it's a disaster, and it's really infuriating that all of this has been pretty much instigated by Meta. Mark Zuckerberg,
Mark
if you ever
Zuckerberg can
hear
get
this,
fucked.
yeah, if you ever hear this, I hope that somebody finds the biggest, nastiest, rustiest spoon and shoves that right up your asshole.
I hope you step on Legos for the rest of your life.
I hope your pillow
Barefoot.
is never cold.
I hope that you get every single red light for the rest of your life.
The rest of your life.
Not where I thought you were going with that, but I approve.
I hope that somebody accidentally gives you that bag of gummies on Amazon that accidentally makes you shit your entire life for 24 hours.
I hope someone always puts the wrong milk in your coffee.
I hope
Always.
nobody gets your name right in Starbucks ever again.
I hope your food is always just too burnt or just too salty.
I hope every time you use your microwave, it short circuits whatever breaker it's a part of. I could do this for hours.
All day. Anyways, Mark,
We wish
Mr.
nothing but every inconvenience on your life.
Literally, you are in the millennial generation, but we do not claim you. Get the fuck out.
No.
Get
And
the
the
fuck out.
crazy thing is, it's like he thinks that if they get rid of TikTok, that people are going to start swarming to Meta or Facebook and Instagram. No.
No.
I will delete my Facebook. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
I'll
love
delete every
Instagram,
other
but I will
Instagram
stop.
account that yeah. I'm telling you right now, this is me as the person in charge of TBP, which you all don't really like hear much about. We'll stop using our Instagram.
Nothing. You ain't getting shit from us. Bite me.
I'll just you know what, actually, you know, we'll
We're
post
all gonna. I'm sorry,
we'll
no, but
post
we're all going back to MySpace.
yeah,
Oh my god,
we'll
I
start
don't know how to
posting
get into
ugly
it though.
I'll look for every single ugly ass edit that I can find of Mark Zuckerberg, and that will be our post every single day.
A vibe.
That's
Vibe.
what we'll be posting.
But
So look out for that.
Um,
But yeah, it's
I
just
think
it's overreaching.
they just had the congressional hearing with Shochu Shinchu Show
I don't
Show
know how to
Shochu.
say his name.
It's Show, I think. And he, one, fuck our government. Fuck them fully. And I say that like from the deepest parts of my chest.
Mm-hmm.
I hate when usually people who are conservative or, are older than us, when they say, well, you voted for them. And I'm like, yeah, I voted for them to represent me and they're not. So they can get
Mhm.
fucked.
Mhm.
Like straight fucked. Uh they are in it for their own interest at this
Mhm.
point. We can all see it. This bill does nothing but show who they actually are. We know what they're trying to do. We all realize that our generation, Gen Z, and Alpha generation are the largest generational populations at this point in time, especially voting wise,
Mm-hmm.
and that this is a way to silence us,
Mhm.
which is not going to fly. Like,
No,
I'm
all it's
sorry.
doing is making all of us angry. It's just making everyone mad.
It's making all of us angry. And like I was saying before we started this episode, as a historian who also likes astrology, the last time that Pluto was in Aquarius, the American Revolution happened, as well as the French Revolution. And we already see what's going on in our world, in France, and everything that's happening in the United States. Like, this is not going to end well for you. Like, I don't think they grasp that. You
No.
have 3 generations of people who are just tired of the world that we live in. You have the millennials who, even the young, like, I am the youngest millennial. I am the last year of millennial base. One of my very first memories is Columbine and 9/11 and the recession. Like, it has been like once in a lifetime events over and over and over again. Like, we're tired. We're over it. We're like, what's left to give at this point? Gen Z has a death wish. They literally are just like, fight me. I don't.
Yes.
It's like, millennials, we've paved the way and we're just fucking tired. We're just tired. And we're like, Gen Z, please here you go. The doors are open. We did it for you. Do what you need to do. And they're just like coming in with like bats on fire. And they're like, let's go. Like,
Gen Alpha is even worse.
they're so bad. They're so bad.
We
And
mean that in the best way possible.
The best way possible. Like, I'm just like, I am comfortable letting you guys just do what you need to do.
Gen Z has the Molotov cocktail prepared, and Gen Alpha has the lighter.
And we just like opened the door. We're just like,
dude,
we're the one who ultimately I think of it as our generation, millennials. We are, and this is like a reference to New York and Stonewall. We are the generation that threw the first brick. We threw the brick, but Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they're the ones who are going to continue on with this fight.
And it's kind of scary to think about, but like, I saw a TikTok of the youngest Gen Z is 15, which would make them sophomores in high school, and Gen Alpha is after that. The classes after the sophomore class are terrifying.
And you have to remember that, like, a lot of Gen Alpha kids, like, they missed, like, formative years in school. So they are so chaotic.
Well, not only that, they've never not gone to school having active shooter drills.
No, I had never been to school without having an active shooter drill. I went into kindergarten. It was 2000. 2000, I started kindergarten. We immediately started having active shooter drills. Like, the fact that this has been going on for 23 years, probably longer, and like, it's still happening. But they're more concerned about an app. They're more concerned about this app that children are dancing on. Okay, sir, why do you have children dancing on your TikTok?
I feel like telling on yourself.
They're throwing themselves under the bus.
Concern. Like, because
now,
the
if you had said
page, we've talked about this
for the doll or something. Like, I would be.
Like, we've talked about this here, like, multiple times when it comes to like the book talk community. You curate your own For You page. So if you are seeing children dancing on yours, that's the problem.
There's a problem there.
About you.
I'm just like, and the way that show, like, when he was finally able to get a word in, because let's be honest, all of our Congress people were more focused on being able to get sound bites in for news media outlets to use rather than actually get answers from show at all. But I really love that he threw down. He was just like, there's no concern with China taking any of your guys' information because, one, you guys keep all of it in-house in the U.S. Like, you have a U.S. office, like a U.S. office space. I have literally applied to 2 jobs for TikTok this past week. Like, we are focused here in the United States. And he said, what you should be really concerned with is the information that Facebook gave to Russia. What those online organizations that were doing polls put up on social media. That is what you should be concerned with. And they are all based around Meta. Meta should be your concern. That is a homegrown business that you are lining your pockets from.
Yeah.
And has literally been the most detrimental thing to our society.
Yeah.
There's literal studies shown that what was it? That like Meta put out documents. They hired people. Mark Zuckerberg hired companies to put out fake information about TikTok and Musical.ly in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Musical.ly started,
Musical.ly.
they started propaganda against this app years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he's a salty little bitch boy because he couldn't buy it. Am I wrong?
No.
It's just
You're gonna sit there
aggravating.
and tell me that I'm wrong?
It's so aggravating because all of these claims that they're making are verifiable claims against Meta.
And AOC has come out and said when there is a risk, like they're saying that we have, the federal government gives everyone a documentation of what the risks are, and they have never received anything. So there is literally no base behind any of these allegations. Any of them. So, like, where are you getting your information from? As a historian, I would like to see you cite your sources, please.
Cite your sources.
Please.
Cite your damn sources.
Like,
they're not going to.
I'm just like, I don't understand how these people are able to even run for office if they are so goddamn dumb. They're so fucking stupid. You want to put an age one? Yes, I definitely believe in like age limits for social media. Like, I don't think children should be able to be on it. If a parent is like recording their child, that's like a whole different thing. But I also believe that there should be an age cap on who should be able to be in office. My mom always gets mad at me. She's like, oh, Nancy Pelosi, like, you voted for, she's your party. I'm just like, I've never voted for that woman.
No,
I voted in California.
Never voted for Nancy.
She's in California, so I would be able to vote for her. She's been on my ballots.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, she's too old. Well, like, yes, I believe in a lot of things she says, but like, I would never, like, I want someone who aligns with me.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem is that there are no millennial voices because none of these people will retire out. Like, you're not the main demographic anymore. You have no idea what we want. You know what millennials want? We want to be able to afford to get groceries and pay for gas all in one paycheck.
I would maybe like to get a house.
I know.
I would maybe like to have like my own house at some point in my life.
I'd take my own apartment. I love my roommates, don't get me wrong. But having had an apartment by myself, I miss it so much sometimes.
Yeah. I would like, you know, good health insurance that I don't have to pay like exorbitant amount for. Like, I want basic things.
Yeah, like I got to a near knockdown, drag out fight with my mom about getting my blood work done because I have such a deep mistrust of doctors, for one, being a Black woman, but also because I can't ever afford it. She's like, well, I'll pay for it. I'm like, okay, that's great, Gen X. Love that for you.
Yeah. Like, I literally only go to a doctor if it's like I'm dying and can't get up.
Yeah, the last time I went to a doctor, I was literally, I thought I was having a heart attack. I was having heart
I was still in my parents'
passing out.
I was still in my parents' insurance last time.
I would like to be able to go buy my Starbucks and not be shit on for buying my Starbucks because that's why I don't use money. I keep buying Starbucks. It's like,
I plan to go to Dutch Bros after we're done here, so let's do it.
As you should. Buy the coffee. Buy the coffee. It's literally buying a coffee every single day is not going to make a dent in what we would have to save to buy a house.
No.
Or even to have an apartment on your own.
Yeah, as somebody that has been actively trying to save to buy a house for the last year, I have major doubts that it will ever happen.
Yeah.
Even with the market crashing.
Yeah. And even further, like, if there's other apps that you want to look at, maybe look at Twitter and Elon Musk.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is going on there?
Look at Fox News. Fox News is not owned by an American citizen. It's owned by an Australian citizen. So you also can suck my ass.
Fox News legally is not a news source. They're not allowed to call themselves a news outlet.
They're an entertainment outlet.
They're an entertainment because nothing on there is news. Where literally,
Catalin, that was dead ass their legal defense when people were suing them. They're like, we're not an actual news source.
We're an entertainment service.
Yes, that's how they. Yeah. That is their defense when they get sued, that they can't be held liable because they are not documented.
Then they, shouldn't say on tonight on 6 o'clock news or Fox News.
Yeah. And what's worse is now, because of all of the investigations that Trump's under, their text messages leaked. They know.
I know. I saw that.
Oh my God. Speaking of, actually, quick sidebar. Ben Shapiro. No, not Ben Shapiro.
Why would you say that name on?
What is the
Blow
other
up.
what is the other twerky
Charlie.
little white dude?
Charlie.
What is his No.
Charlie something.
All I
Tucker
can think of is
Carlson.
Tucker Carlson.
The one who said that transgenderism needs to be eradicated. Oh my god.
I feel like they've all said that at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he was the one that actually did it at one of the big conventions. That one's been going around, and he's like, I didn't say that trans people need to be eradicated. Yes, you did, literally. Anyway, videos came out of him being like playing a gay character or something like that. I was like, y'all, you need to shut the fuck up.
Oh, I
Also-
saw. No, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
And then the other thing is too, which I hope this happens. This will make every moment of my life worth it if this happens. Allegedly, Grindr. If you don't know what Grindr is essentially the gay version of Tinder. It was the one that came out first. It's the app that Tinder is based on. They have said allegedly that if Congress doesn't stop pulling this bullshit with all the homophobic and transphobic laws, they're going to leak every
all
member.
the Congress member.
Listen, I'm not a fan of
used their
doxing. I think doxing is really inappropriate. I hate it so much. I'm on board with
But do it in this case. Do it in this case.
I'm on board. But
In
ultimately,
this instance, I think it's warranted.
I think going back to, what we're seeing right now with TikTok, we saw what happened in 2020. We saw the grassroots efforts that happened through TikTok specifically. It is a great way for people to stay connected immediately with each other.
And that's a
look
threat
at
to the
us.
government.
We would have never met if it weren't for TikTok.
Yeah. Literally.
But that's the threat the government, the conservatives.
That is a threat. That is a threat to, this Congress's interest.
Yeah. Oh my God. Us over here in book talk and our smut. How dare we?
How dare we?
So Show he
Yeah,
brought
we saw
up book
him.
talk. He brought up book talk, and I'm just like,
because we're one of the biggest aspects of TikTok. We're one of the most. We're one of the most profitable. We're one of the largest. We're one of the most overreaching. Book Talk is one of the biggest parts of TikTok.
Because of Book Talk, not only have book sales gone up exponentially, but we saved libraries. We saved libraries. They were going, they were all going out of business.
Well, Barnes and Noble was close to filing bankruptcy too.
Yeah. So, and obviously, of course, this goes to say, when we start seeing these book bans, we're also taking over, TikTok and be like, this is not appropriate. This is not okay. Yeah. But I think, this is, the government sees what TikTok is for millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha. And, in 2020, we saw the largest voting base. In 2022, we saw the largest, group of Gen Z come out to vote. That was huge. Millennials and Gen Z came out in swarms. What everyone thought was going to be the red wave was a trickle. It was
a red splash.
A trickle, because Gen Z was I bet. No.
Yeah. And you saw how close Beto was to taking Texas.
I'm
so close.
I am so excited because I know that it's going to happen while we are alive, and I cannot wait.
So.
I cannot wait to see Texas
and
go blue.
The other thing is they have to know that this is going to kill them, because millennials, y'all, we fucking hate calling people. Hate it. I'd rather chop off every single hand. I'd rather chop off every single finger on my hand than call somebody. I did call. I called and email.
Please.
If
you are listening to this, there is a huge election coming up. I don't know if it's going to be before or after this episode. Wisconsin is having a massive election when it comes to a judge, a superior court, the Supreme Court judge. If you live in Wisconsin, if you know someone who lives in Wisconsin, please reach out to them. Let them know that it is important for them, their voice to be heard, that they need to go and vote, and they need to tell their friends to vote, because there are 2 candidates and one of them is not it. And it will be a huge determiner of things that pass across the U.S.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Right, it's the Supreme Court.
Wisconsin. Supreme Court, Wisconsin. If this one person gets voted in, it will be determinant of everything in the rest of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So it is so important it is so important for you to call your Congress people and let them know, like, you're not happy with so many things that are coming out. Like, one thing I love about TikTok is that we get to learn about all these bills and stuff that are being passed. Like, I have written letters and called people in regards to the Willow Act. Do you guys know what Willow is?
Yeah.
Madeline? So Willow is basically a big oil company. They are trying to drill up in Alaska, and Joe signed. He signed it. So
I
at this
saw
point,
that.
we're trying to get it to stop because that's going to escalate climate change even more.
Man,
ICWA.
and you know, speaking of Joe, really quick, you know what else is so fucking tasteless? So they had all of this shit going on. They did the hearing with Congress, and then Joe did a fucking TikTok with Niall.
With
Niall, I
Niall.
understand what you're doing, but now is not the time, my guy.
Like, Joe, if you want to get rid of TikTok so bad, then stay off of it. That's another thing. Like, people are just like, you voted for him. Like, why are you shitting on him? Again, I
We've
voted
always
for
been
him
this way.
to represent. I'm like, I do not put my representatives on a fucking pedestal unless it's Bernie, because it's Bernie. I love Bernie.
But even still, even as much as I love
still,
Bernie,
if he
Bernie
fucked
should
up, I'd
also
be like,
retire. Bernie should
Bernie,
also
yes.
retire at this point.
He should retire, but also, like, if they do something that I don't agree with, I'm be like, yo, fuck you. Like, why would you do that? This is not why we voted for you.
Exactly.
And that's something that, like, you know, my parents don't get, and like people that, you know, voted against me, they don't.
And they keep going like this, and people aren't going to vote for them again. I dead ass, if this goes through, I dead ass will figure out whoever the primary opponent is in the primary for both Mark and what the Kane. I will figure out who they are, and I will spend every waking moment that I have that I am not at work, that I'm not working on this podcast. I will do everything in my power.
There's a TikTok I saw, and I want to find it so I can, like, I'll put the person's handle in our show notes. But what you can do is find out what district you're in, call your representative for that district, and be like, if you do not push for this to not pass, if you do not everything in your power to help us keep this app and keep that act out of, like, the office of Joe Biden to sign, I will do everything in my power to make sure no one votes for you in the next primary or general election.
And you got to be really kind when you do it. Put on your cheerleader customer service voice and just let them know.
Be like, I will do everything in my power to keep you from passing the primary.
You have to.
And that's what they care about.
Like Southern sweetheart, like Southern
Heart.
belle.
I did. I most certainly did. Whoever I spoke to, she was like, thanks. I was like, oh, bless your heart. She was like, wow.
Like, I kid you not, guys, as much as we wanted this episode to just talk about how fucked up Twitter has been recently, and, you know, most apps have, like, their moments, and we've talked about this, I think
this is
ultimately,
a much bigger issue.
I would rather deal with them being fucked up and like telling them to calm down than to have to deal with something like this where we are being silenced, where a bill is trying to be passed that is in complete opposition to our First Amendment right. First Amendment. Like the one that everyone cared about the absolute most during the American Revolution.
And this is not to say that TikTok is like the end all be all of all apps. No. It's still really fucked up. Like, there's still a lot of problems with it. But I have not seen Zuckerberg, I haven't seen Musk come out in the way the show has and make the promises that he's trying to make and correct the things that he's trying to correct.
The way that
neither of those assholes have done that.
The way that Show had made that TikTok days before he was in Congress, and he's like, there's 150 million Americans, and we're just like, oh, fuck. This man out here would have been like he's connecting with us on the level that he knows that he, and not just that, there are little Congress people who are using TikTok to explain things to us. Like, what's his name? I don't know what his name is. Joe Jackson. He got on at 3:00 in the morning and made a TikTok about what is going on with the banks, because he's like, it is our job to make sure you are informed. And I'm like, I fucking love you.
I then saw I don't know if it's a history teacher or historian, but she stitched it and she's like, he's doing fireside chats. This is what FDR did.
Yes.
So for those who say history is cyclical, fucking pay attention. Anyway,
it's literally God.
Yeah.
And like we talk about this all the time. Like as historians, we're just like, if you do not properly understand history, it's going to happen again. And we are seeing this over and over. Like, fuck. Pandemic happened 100 years ago. 100 years ago.
Guess what? It didn't last nearly as long as this one. Because
No,
people
because you want to
fucking
know,
listen.
because people are so deep in this political jargon, thinking that everything is politicized. It's like, it's not. The world is not on the same page as the United States. And this is why every country thinks that we are so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
This is why
Well,
we had to make
'cause
TikTok
America is.
stitches. People are making TikTok stitches being like, I hate the US, but I'm not going to take this shit from a European just because you think that we're fucking dumb, because we're not. You don't live here. You don't know what we're going through. You have no idea.
Yeah. Well, and it's absolutely insanity. I also want to shout out really quick Representative Bowman. He has been fighting from the jump. He has been doing everything that he can to share information, to make sure that people are well informed, to get the message across to his fellow Congress people that this is not what we want as a people, and to really make sure that people understand. Also, shout out to you for sending that shady ass video, or doing that shady ass video where you sent that care package to Ron DeSantis with all those anti-racist books. Love you for that. But like, he really deserves some special attention because he really has been doing the damn thing. And it's just, we need people to really understand that this is more than just TikTok. Because yes, TikTok itself, we would survive without it. It's not that, it's the fact that they're trying to hamper the free speech that we as a generation have gained from this app, and are trying to keep us from pushing forward and making the world better, because we have been able to find our tribes and make strides in our country as a group because we've been able to connect this way. And they know that, and they're afraid of it. So we need you all to do what we've been doing. Contact your representatives. You can go, you can literally go onto Google, figure out who's my representative. You can email them if you're not comfortable calling them. If you call them, there are tons of creators that have great scripts that you can use. You can even use ChatGPT to whip up an email or a script if you're not sure. Make sure if you do contact them, you do it with kindness, because they are more afraid of us when we are calm and kind than when we're raging like a bunch of psychos.
If we're
So you
raging like a
need
bunch
to
of psychos, we are
really think about it.
playing into the narrative that they are creating for us.
Yes, exactly. So please, please, please do everything that you can to share the information. We'll make sure to have some resources in our description box. So please feel free to check that out. If there's anyone that you all think that we need to take a look at and be aware of during this whole process, please let us know. Hopefully by the time this episode has gone up, we've gotten a resolution on this and TikTok has not been banned, and the Restrict Act has just been canceled out altogether. But we don't know, as we know our government likes to move fast on some things and slow on others. So we'll see. Just hopefully things have gone the way that we want them to. But yeah, please reach out to us. You can email us at tbp.staythirsty.com, or you can message us on Instagram at Thirsty Bitches Podcast. We do have a Discord server where we talk about these things. We do request that you keep conversations like this, because they are so charged, within the designated spaces that we have in our Discord server, because we do want to keep some spaces free of really intense conversation, because we need to have positive spaces to kind of release the pressure from things like this. But we do want to let you all know that we are acknowledging that this is happening, and we want to be a part of the conversation, and our stances is they can fuck off. So with that being said, Kira, while you're petting Olive, can you take us out with an affirmation?
She is
She
really
wants
being mean.
attention.
I'm so sorry. I don't know if you guys are watching the
okay.
video, you'll see that she literally just poked her head in.
She's a
There.
cutie.
It's okay.
Yeah, so today's affirmation is, if it is meant for me, I will have it. If it isn't, I am prepared to have something greater.
Perfect.
Nice.
I need that one.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us. Make sure to tune in on Tasty Tuesdays and Thirsty Thursdays for all the episodes, and be sure to subscribe and follow our socials. Listen in the description. Make sure you like, rate, and leave a review for the podcast to help boost us across the platforms. It helps more than you know. Have a lovely day. Remember, stay thirsty, bitches.